I am really excited for this guy because we really like this guy. He's a big-time friend of the program. I wasn't here the other day. I had a daughter that had to go to the hospital down at TCU in Texas, so we were, up all night worrying about her. Thank God everything's good. I missed him the other day. Coach, congratulations on the big win last night.
Still alive, baby. Still alive. It's all that matters in March. Survive and advance. By the way, Trace stepped in big time the other day.
Well,
big time.
You're a sports fan, and so it was pointed out to me that I might end up being Wally Pipp when all is said and done, replaced by Lou Gehrig. So
now,
you ever use that on a player? You ever use that on a player who's kind of walking around, maybe nursing something? You ever drop that name on him?
You tell the Wally Pipp story almost every year in coaching, right? Just to make sure they know. Now the problem is nobody knows who Lou Gehrig is anymore.
right.
We're a couple generations away from that, but my generation was probably the last one to appreciate and respect Lou. But absolutely, you tell the Wally Pipp story to let them know.
So last night you had just played Oakland, your final game of the regular season, and then you go as the 4. They're the number 5. You're going to play them again. Just to learn a little bit something about coaching and about game planning for all of us that love sports and love college basketball. Is that hard to do, or a team so well, they know you so well? Who are we trying to trick here? Let's just go out and execute what we do. What was that preparation like just going into the game last night?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Thom. I think a lot of it depends on where your team is. I would say in general, and this is just my opinion and philosophy, the most important thing in March is, can you be your best and play your best? Whatever that means based on, your personnel and how you need to play to be successful on both ends of the floor. So that's a big part of the preparation, right? And then, from a mentality standpoint for us, we just talked a lot about it, especially because not only we play Oakland, but we won, and we made 15 threes, right? It might have been the most we've made all year. I think we may have hit 16 one game, but, that's a lot of threes. And so just, you can't assume you're going to make all those threes again, and just kind of having and building the mentality with your guys headed into the game. Hey, guys, we've got to play this game, right? Not Saturday's game, not the game we played against Oakland, back in January. All right, not the next game. If we win, we got to play this game that we're in right now, possession by possession. And I give our guys a ton of credit, Thom. They really did that throughout the game. Kind of stayed the course and did what we had to do to survive and advance.
I heard your post-game show last night, Coach, with Jim Kelch, and we love Jim Kelch, longtime friend, great broadcaster. And I was listening to it driving back from a high school game up in Dayton last night, and you had made the comment, kind of like you did there just a second ago, about getting your guys playing great in March. What is something, and you take away injuries because you don't know where you're going to be health-wise and all that kind of thing.
Sure.
But as an overall philosophy, and I heard you make those comments about that's what we try to do, is get our guys to what does that mean of how you're trying to get your guys by the month of March to really be playing it? It looks like offensively, especially right now, you guys are doing just that.
Yeah, honestly, Thom, for us, it's a year-round thing here. We talk about what's gonna be championship level. So even if we're in weight training in the summer and not doing a lot of basketball stuff, or are you doing it at a level that's a championship level? Are you giving your best? Is that going to be enough when we need it? At tournament time, and just trying to build that mentality of that's the level that you want to play and compete at. That's what we're working towards, for sure. And then I think the other thing is just, trying to build a mentality with your guys that, hey, this is what it's about, man. This is what it's for. We're going to keep getting better. So some of that during the year, even though you want to be at that level, whether it's going great or whether it's not going great, it's still a mentality of, hey, guys, we're trying to get better. All right, we're trying to be our best at the end of this thing. If you have a great game, hey, guys, that's great. We're not trying to win a championship on January 3rd. We're trying to win a championship on March 3rd, right? And so kind of building that mentality of the year, continuing to get better so that, they kind of feel like this is what they're built for and this is what we do. And, it's paid off so far, and our guys have really responded to it. We're really fortunate. It's my 4th year here and our 4th straight year where we've given ourselves a chance to get to Indy and have a chance to win the championship.
Well, I mentioned earlier, you're the only team in the Horizon League Conference now 5 consecutive years. And I said a little while ago, I throw out the COVID year. It's apples to oranges when you're comparing that kind of thing. So it's now 5 straight years Northern Kentucky has played in the Final Four of the Horizon League tournament. You're going back there this year. You know, a couple of areas of the game last night and looking inside some of the numbers, it doesn't always tell the story, but a lot of times I think it tells you about effort and tells you about how bad your guys want it, is when you out-rebound Oakland. I think it was 34-24, if I'm not mistaken. You get 10 offensive rebounds. And the Brandon kid, his 16th game out of 32 or something you've played where he's had 10 or more rebounds in a game.
Yeah, and scored a little bit last night too,
Yeah.
right? Had 13 points for a double-double. And, you know, we feel like when Chris is doing that, he's definitely as good as anybody in our league and, you know, one of the better guys in college basketball. And the offensive rebounding is really important for us, Thom, because as athletic and good as Chris is around the basket, rebounding and finishing, not really a back-to-the-basket type scorer. And so for us to get extra possessions and have an opportunity to get more points and get to the foul line some by offensive rebounding. That's an area that's really, really important for our team. And, you know, oddly enough, we do a better job of it off the three-pointers when we're shooting threes, rebounding the ball. I think we're top 50 in the country, maybe even top 40 now in rebounding our own missed threes. And so against a team like Oakland, who kind of forces you into shooting a lot of threes, you know, it's important for us to get on the glass. And so, you know, I think, and maybe the biggest thing he did was it helped us get to the foul line. We drew some fouls doing it. And so that got us to the foul line, which is not something we're great at with the way that we're built. But I think we shot like 27 free throws last night.
All right, now Youngstown State, you're the 4 seed. They're the number 1 seed. I mean, there was only a 1-game difference. You were 14-6 in the league. They were 15-5 in the league. You split with them during the regular season. You won the first encounter. The second time, you got knocked around pretty good by them. What kind of a game should we expect for you guys against Youngstown State?
You know, it's a great question, Thom. I think it could be a grinded out game. You know, but it could be a game where, you know, both teams are really scoring well. You know, they're a terrific team. You know, they've got a guy in Dwayne Cohill, Thom, that if it wasn't for Antoine Davis having literally a historic year in college basketball history, like, you know, up there with a guy named Pistol Pete, Dwayne Cohill's probably player of the year in our league. You know, fantastic player, great numbers. You know, led Youngstown State to a regular season championship where they've never done. You know, before in this league. And, you know, they're extremely athletic. They're very dangerous offensively. Defensively, they've got the ability to switch at all 5 positions and present some issues there. And so, you know, I think it's one of those games, like a lot of tournament games, that like a big heavyweight fight, right? You know, it could end up being kind of a knockdown, drag out, or, you know, if both teams get it going, it could be a game that has some up and down and has a lot of scoring. I think we're just going to have to see how it goes.
So all the top 4 seeds win in the opening round of the Horizon League, and now you got the top 4 seeds in the semis. Do you like the setup of the tournament where, okay, you get the 1 game at home last night, and now you have a number of days off before you play again as the tournament moves to Indianapolis on Monday with a championship game the next day? You like that setup?
I like it if you have to do home sites to some degree, right? If your league needs to do home sites, I like it. You know, the only other thing I might fight for is, and this was true our first year. Now, we only had 10 teams in the league here, but my first year here, the top 2 teams got to buy all the way to the semifinals. You know, so if the goal at the mid-major level is to try to protect your top seeds, feeling like you can get your best teams to the tournament, you know, the 2 teams that have proved that through a conference season, you know, the top 2 teams going, you know, right to the Final Four in Indy is maybe the only adjustment. But if you got to play home games, I like that. You know, you can earn a home game as a higher seed, that you get it on a Thursday, then you got a couple days to regroup before you have to play back-to-back on Monday, Tuesday in the Final Four of our league championship.
You know, I heard you in the post-game show, as I mentioned, Coach, and you sounded a little, and I think rightfully so, to be completely honest with you, and I could have misunderstood what you were saying, but I mean, I think it's fair to say that anybody involved with watching your team play, and especially the way you've played here in the last month and a half of the season, would have expected a few more fannies in the seats last night at Truist Arena.
Yeah, to be clear, I said I was disappointed with the turnout and volume, right, and total numbers. I should probably clarify, the people that were there, diehard Norse.
Yes, and
they were
you said that
fantastic.
last night. You said you were very
Really
happy with
got
those
into
that
the
showed
game.
up, right?
Yeah, I thought made a difference. But we're trying to build something here, right? And I think we were third and maybe honestly in actual bodies fourth last year of the 4 home games in league play of attendance. I think Youngstown State, and granted they're having a historic year for them, had 5,500 last night. We announced 2,700, probably was really closer to 2,000. And so, again, just I think our guys have earned that. And part of it, to be honest with you, Thom, is we've seen what this place can be, right,
Yes.
on given nights.
Yep.
And you just go back to this year, even the UC game, had over 8,000 here, at least 2/3, probably 3/4. We're Golden Black Norse, and so that's well over 5 into 6,000 fans. And so, again, there's a lot going on, but it's tournament time, and it really felt like our guys, deserved a great crowd. Again, the ones that were here were fantastic, and really appreciate them. But we want to grow bigger crowds and a greater home court advantage, and we think that matters and creates excitement for everybody. And so, we would love to have more people here, of course.
All right, last thing I want to ask you about, and you're one of the coaches, and I love it, the fact that you don't shy away from talking about March with your players, as you pointed out, even if it's in the summertime working out, or if it's in early January, and March is March, and March is college basketball, the biggest in the stage, and the brightest stars, and the best teams, and getting to the tournament, and all that kind of thing. But you've forgotten more about it than I'll ever know. You're also dealing with 18 to 23, 24-year-old guys, okay? And so, they turn on the ESPNs every night, and we're going to start watching teams cutting down the nets to get to the NCAA tournaments this weekend. That's what every one of these kids dreams about. I don't care if you're playing at Northern Kentucky, you're playing at Xavier or UC or North Carolina, wherever it is. Do you have to sort of say to them before Monday's game, hey, fellas, listen, to play Tuesday, we got to play Monday? You know what I'm saying? Do you kind of have to rein them in, knowing they're 2 wins away from going to the tournament?
No question. And I think this is probably always true. And I don't know what other coaches would tell you this year, Thom, specifically. And I do think that social media and some stuff impacts, this fight, for a coach. But, for our group in particular, it's been a battle all year long to keep them in the moment. And not only from game to game, as you mentioned, hey, guys, we got to play Monday's game to get to Tuesday's game. But sometimes within the game, right, from moment to moment or timeout to timeout, can we stay focused on what we need to do? Hey, if the last segment went bad, that's okay. We got a new segment going now. We can't do anything about the last one. Let's focus on this one. You'll hear our guys a lot in the huddle saying, hey, let's win this segment. Let's win this segment, because it is a battle, man. It's a battle with 18 to 22-year-olds now to keep them focused in the moment, because at the end of the day, you got to keep making the next play, whether it's a defensive stop or an offensive play until the final buzzer. And so can you keep them focused in that moment? And it's so important in tournament time, especially because, you don't get a chance to play the next day.
Well, Coach, we're rooting for you. We're your biggest fans around here, even if Casey McAllister, who is an NKU alum, doesn't know you guys are playing last night. I'm kidding. I rib him all the time. He knows I'm kidding him.
Yeah. Norse up, baby. Yeah.
All right.
Well, you know what? We'll have to have him out for a practice next year. Get him in some gear. All right. So he's got no excuses.
Yes. Oh, this is big time. This is big time.
Darrin,
that would not be a pretty picture.
Darrin, I'll tell you what. Tell Wes Akers. Do you know who Wes Akers is?
Yes.
Tell him that I will run the handheld camera next year. Or not next year. What's your next home?
Yeah,
game?
it's next year.
No, it's next year.
Yeah.
That'll be next year. We're in tournament site.
Yeah.
I'll run one of the bottom handheld cameras every single home game.
You don't have to make a deal, man. I can just get you some gear. It's okay.
Yeah.
you don't have to work. You don't have to work for it.
There you go.
That's
the kind of guy Casey is.
Proudly.
He's a proud alum. He's a hardworking guy, so he wants to pay the price. Just like you ask your players, you got to go pay the price. Coach, we thank you for your time. We wish you the best of luck, Coach. We're rooting for you very much. Good luck on Monday night.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach Darrin Horn. I mean, the guy is lights out. He's great.